Good morning, gang. Welcome to the channel. This is going to be a really off-the-wall, really strange review, but it's probably one that have been the most excited about in at least a year. We have a pool. We have a very tiny 9,000 gallon, I believe, pool, and I have spent in the past 2 years probably, I got a squirrel that's not happy with me, probably 800 bucks on different pool cleaners. I do have a suction side pool cleaner that obviously it requires suction to clean up off the bottom of the pool. These things are so expensive, and it's just a chunk of plastic, and they just break down. And I've also tried 3 different very cheap robotic pool cleaners, the $250 range, and they just don't work. Now, this is not summertime, but we have a ton of trees behind our pool, and when the leaves fall, this is what I'm left with all over my pool. So my best advice, if you're thinking about getting a pool, don't. If I could go back in time, we would find a house that did not have a pool, but here we are. This video is going to be about this guy right here. This is the Fanttik Aero X pool. Jeez, you're not happy with me. This is the Fanttik Aero X. Okay, this is a fully robotic 16,000 milliamp rechargeable battery pool cleaner. It is pretty big. This is going to be big enough for a much bigger pool than what we have, but I've got a lot of debris, and I'm going to see. I've never used this. I'm going to see how well it does. The thing that I like about this is look how big that filter basket is. It is a 6-liter filter basket, so that should be more than enough to at least clean the bottom of the pool. It's not going to get my steps, and it's not going to go up here to this little tiny suntan ledge. I know that. I can get that by hand, but all of this stuff, we're going to throw this in the pool and see how it works. It does have a tether that we're going to throw in the pool. This is like a transmitter because it does have a remote, so that just floats in the pool. But to get this thing turned on, it is not 100% charged. It's probably at like 75%, but you just simply turn it on.
4.
Gives you some blinkies, and you probably won't be able to see it. Okay, it does have a little LED screen, and it's got different modes. It's got a wall cleaning mode, a floor cleaning mode, and an all-around mode. Floor, see, that's water line mode. All around. Floor. We're gonna go to floor, and then cleaning cycle, you can toggle it to the left.
Scheduled cleaning.
So you can keep this in the pool and schedule it via the app, you know, to turn on a certain time during the day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, 1 day a week, whatever you want. I'm just going to do a clean now.
Focus cleaning.
So we're going to focus cleaning. All right. I'm going to throw this thing in the water, see what it does. Let's see if it just starts itself. There we go. Okay, so it's starting itself. I can see the ripples, the propulsion. I am going to get this out of the pool. There she goes. Go get them. All right, so it started to try to climb up the wall, but it's going to come back down because I don't have the wall cleaning on. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this thing set up on a time lapse, and there's a lot of twigs and just brush in the bottom of this pool that I get bombarded with from all that stuff up there. But yeah, I'm going to get this thing set up on a time lapse for you guys, and we're going to see how long it takes to clean up all of these leaves in this pool. This battery on this is supposed to last between 6 and 8 hours, depending on the speed. So you can make this thing go faster, go slower, climb up the walls, clean the water line, whatever you want. This is basically just the basic setting, just the floor only. Okay, I want to show you guys the app real quick. So when you pull it up, it'll tell you how many meters squared it's cleaned, as well as the remaining run time. So right now I've got 345 minutes. Oh, right now I've got 345 minutes left for this thing to clean. you can hit this lift button right here, and it's actually going to turn around backwards and come up to the top so you can grab the handle. I'll show that to you guys when it gets done cleaning. We've been going for about 15 minutes right now, I believe, and I'm pretty impressed with it so far. That large filter bag is really just for cleaning up big debris. It does come with a fine mesh bag as well that I'll probably put on once it gets done cleaning up all this stuff. And that is used to actually get up some of the smaller, finer particles like dust and little pieces of algae and whatnot. But it's working pretty well right now. All right, so it's still going, but I'm going to switch to, let's do floor and waterline. I'm going to hit submit. Successful. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it gets up to the waterline. So it just kind of does like a zigzag to go all the way down. It's going to get stuck here. I do have a little ledge, like a little bench here, and there's no way it's going to be able to get around here. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen when it hits this. So let's find out. But it is definitely getting all the way up to the top of my coping. Scrubbing that pretty well with that front brush. I know this is probably the strangest video that I've ever made, especially being in November and I am reviewing a pool cleaner. But for me, this is when I need a pool cleaner the most, like I said, because of all these leaves that are falling. During the summer, our pool stays pretty clean. It's during the fall and the spring when these leaves change and start dropping. It is it's just a nightmare out here. And that's when I've gone through all of these cleaners. So we're getting close to that ledge. There's nothing it can do, so I don't know what's gonna happen. That takes a lot of suction. This thing weighs around 21, I believe, 21 pounds. And for it to be able to suck itself up the wall up that high, that's pretty impressive. Okay, we're going down now. What's going on? Oh, maybe it's just doing the floor now, because I do have it on floor and, well, it's gonna try to climb up the bench. It's not gonna get very far. There we go. And we are not doing anything, which is kind of what I expected. All the videos I've seen on this particular robot, if you do have these benches, it can't really, there's not enough water above the bench for it to cantilever over and then go back up to clean the water line right back here. So I'm not too surprised that it's not being able to get that done. So it just fell back down. Maybe it's gonna come up here to this side. Try to clean it. Then it's just gonna get mad. But at least it's scrubbing this. You know, I normally have to get my brush and scrub that area, so I'll take as little work as I have to do on this pool. So here's the scoop. Yeah, if you have like ledges and benches and tanning ledges, that waterline clean I wouldn't recommend. I've seen most people that doesn't really work for that area, but if you've got a long stretch of just wall, it works really well. So I'm going to put this back to floor mode, which is what I would recommend using it only on, and just still kind of manually clean the water line. It's trying. You can see now it's going back up this wall. So it'll clean some of the water line. And it's going back up here. It's thinking about it. So now it knows it can go all the way up top, so it's going to drop back down. It's going to get that front brush spinning, and it's going to clean probably just this back end side. So again, I'm just going to keep it on floor mode and just let it clean all the junk off the ground, all the leaves that fall in the water. So there we go. Now the brush is spinning. Yeah, riveting, I know. I'm gonna let it clean the floor more, and I'll show you how much debris it has in the basket when we're all said and done. So it is cleaning the side of my step pretty well. All right, guys, it's been about 45 minutes since I threw this thing in the pool. And yeah, there's a few leaves still floating on top. But if you guys remember what it looked like before I threw this in, it's done a fantastic job. It had no issues at all getting over these two drains. A lot of my pool cleaners would get stuck on these drains because they stick up about an inch, inch and a half from the pool floor. And a lot of my cleaners would get stuck. And I've got two of them right here. It had no problems with that. Now I just kind of have it sitting parking. I'm going to throw it in lift mode, and it's supposed to kind of turn around and come back up to the edge of the pool, so I can just simply grab it. So let's see how that works. And I'm not sure which direction where it's going to go. So start the lift. Do you want to start the lift function? Yes. Hit start. The machine is returning. Where's it going to return to? I guess over there. So it is turning around so I can grab the handle. And while I think about it, because this isn't the cheapest product, it's around $800 or $900 I believe. Don't quote me, I'll put the link in the description. It does have a 2-year warranty that I know of, and I've had quite a few Fanttik stuff in terms of like air compressors and bicycle gadgets, vacuum cleaners, and all of my Fanttik stuff has worked really well. So I think this is a little bit better brand than some of the literal Chinese knockoffs that I've bought over the last few years. There we go. And it's pretty heavy when you pull it out because it's full of water. And all the debris that I picked up. Let's see how much stuff's inside here. Alright, so a moment of truth. Here's all the goodies. That canister is chock full. Figure out how to get this thing open. Oh man, look at all that. That tape did a pretty good job. Got a worm. Yuck. All right, so I'm gonna say the first go around on this thing has done really well. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm gonna go take this over to the side of my house and rinse out this filter. And I'm gonna put it back in the pool and just let it do its thing. Pick up all the residual leaves that I just didn't have the patience for it to clean up, but I've had experience with a lot of these things, and a lot of them I knew as soon as I put them in the pool wasn't going to do a good job. And this one did a pretty good job. So I know it's November, October, late October, and pool robots probably aren't on the top of everyone's mind, but this one, again, this is the time of the year that I actually need a pool robot with all the leaves and all the debris that I get in here when they all start falling. So anyway, gang, if you're looking at a pool robot, which I was for a long time, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment and let me know, and I'll kind of try to help you out as best as I can, even though this is brand new to me. But I'm gonna be using this thing way more in the next month with all these leaves falling. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.